You're now tuned into PSyk's weekly Nerf dosage.
Hey, what's up good people? Welcome to episode 71 of PWND, and in this episode I actually have 3 parts for you guys. Yes, we are finally back on track. Although showing you 3 parts this week probably means that I won't be able to show you 3 parts again next episode. I'm sorry about it. But anyway, please annotation over here. This part will be the first part, which is about the fake Elite Pinpoint Sights. And then on this annotation over here right in front of my face would be the review of the China or Taobao version of the Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector. And the last annotation over here would be about my Masterkey mod using this China Taobao Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector. So yeah, I don't think there's much of a topic to talk about this week before you guys decide which annotation you want to click. So I shall push the annotations aside and let's go straight away to the first part of this episode. This episode where it's about the fake or China Elite Pinpoint Sights. Let's go! At the very end of last week's episode, I actually put a little snippet of what I found at Toys R Us in the local Toys R Us. Some of you were actually asking me which branch it was. It's the one at Centrepoint, the one known as Toys R Us Express. So those actually had some pinpoint sights available, and I actually wanted to do this part of the video in the last episode. However, I didn't have a new in-box Elite Pinpoint Sight. As you can see, I have an Elite Pinpoint Sight over there, but that is just the box. The Elite Pinpoint Sight is not, I don't even know where I put it. I think I misplaced it. But this part is also, you know, I have to thank Noobie for bringing this up to me. He said he kind of found a China version of the Elite Pinpoint Sight, and it looks like, you know, it's a bit, we don't know what is inside, but we saw the box art, and the box art looks a little bit subpar. Let's just call it subpar. So I have a pair of Elite Pinpoint Sights right here in front of me, and apart from this little sticker over here, you cannot tell from that distance which is which. I'll show you the back, and you'll see different stickers on the back of it. So you see a sticker over here on this box, and you don't see another, you see this sticker over here, so that's a difference, right? But I'm going to bring it up close to you guys, okay? So check it out. Here we go. This is the very first example, okay? And try and zoom in on that. This one over here, this is the one that's made in China. This is called the China Elite Pinpoint Sight, and this is the usual one that we always see. Notice the print quality difference. Notice the quality difference in the color and the intensity. See, this one looks a bit washed out, like a very dull color, and look at this, very bright. You can see the detail that's lost on the letters TM as compared to this one. Yeah, and how do we know if it's made in China? Well, it has Chinese stickers that says, you know, pSyk以上, and then I think so, pardon my Chinese, and then this one. So when you see the box up front, you can already tell the one that is made from China has a little bit washed out colors. Yeah, get the focus again, yeah. And on the back, so you see this one has a sticker in Chinese, a disclaimer of sorts, and this is really obvious. Look at the color difference, look at this and look at this. It's really obvious difference. So the main question is, the box art is different, the print quality on the boxes is different, and I believe that Noobie actually got this from Taobao, and this is the one that I got from Toys R Us, you know, as shown in the last video. So I'm going to open them up right in front of the camera because they're still sealed 100%. I've never opened it, and we will see if there's any difference in the pinpoint sight itself. So first of all, I will open up the let's open up the original one first, okay? Got myself my trusty cutter over here, and I'm gonna open this one up. Okay, so no stickers, no Chinese disclaimer on the box. Open it up, still on screen, slide it out, instruction manual, nothing else in the box. Put this box aside. This one, I'll leave it right here so that you guys can see it's still here. I'm not gonna touch it. And the instruction manual over here says, the usual English one, Mission Kit Pinpoint Sight in the Elite branding, and it shows a retaliator on the back, and it says copyright 2012. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. Now I'll show you guys the pinpoint sights first, still in the ballistic packaging, okay? For this particular one that I got, the paint job doesn't really look very fantastic. Looks a bit, you know, faded. The white is not really white, but it gives it a little bit of a worn look. Let's put it aside. Now let's break into the Taobao version of it. The Taobao one with the Chinese sticker disclaimer. Chinese disclaimer sticker or whatever it is. Right, so here we go. Opening this up. And orientation is the same. Pull it out. And there is an instruction manual right here. And there's nothing else left in this box. So I will put this box aside. And let's leave this one right here on the headphones. Okay, right here. That's the China one. And well, this paper also says 2012. Let me take a quick look at this China one. And this is the Toys R Us Singapore one. Print quality looks a little bit different also. This one still looks a bit washed out at the top part, but everything else looks to be quite alright. Some details that are lost in the red printing, but more or less it's just a piece of paper, so it's hard to tell. These two look almost identical, so I'm not gonna care. Let's look at the China one, and the paint also looks a little bit, you know, not as white, not as bright as a normal Elite blaster. But I'm gonna take the Singapore version and put it right above. And honestly though, they look almost exactly the same. So there's no difference really, I think. There's not much of a difference in between the China Elite Pinpoint Sight and the usual, aka usual Elite Pinpoint Sight. I'm gonna test out the tactical response, or whatever it is called, tactile response of the switch. So wow, it's so hard. Wow, that's a really tough switch. Let's try this one. Wow, the China one is so tough to actually switch over. I really have to dig my fingernail into the groove of the switch just to switch it on. That's crazy. Wow, it's so different. This one is almost effortless. I can do it with one finger. Look, up, down, 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 up, down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And the China one, I cannot do the same thing. Ouch! Actually hurt my finger, what the hell? Okay. So the China one has a pretty bad button. It might be a lemon, I have to be fair. So I'm going to try the tactile response on the spring area of the clip. Let's try it out. Okay. Feel the tension. Tension is almost the same though. Oh no, the China one is a little bit looser. This one feels, I feel more resistance in the standard one, so yeah. The markings wise, it's in different font. This one is branded 32901. It's also branded 32901, but the font is different. Check it out. I'm gonna bring it over to the camera so that you guys can see up close. Here we go. Please note that the lower one is the standard one that I got in Singapore. So you look at that font 32901, and you can see this one. There we go. 3. See it over here. 3 is very vague. 32901. You can see the font totally different. Look. Even the spacing itself is all different. So maybe it's just factory to factory. I mean, I do believe I am led to believe that Hasbro actually has their production factories in China. Sorry about the zoom. I believe that Hasbro has their production factories in China, so I don't even understand why the variant, you know, why the difference in variants. But yeah, it's really soft, this one, and this one really has a lot of resistance. So maybe just maybe the China one is a little bit lower in quality. I don't know, but yeah, just want you guys to be aware of such a thing. And the switch is really getting to me. The China one really cannot be switched on, ouch, with one hand. It really hurts, with ease at least, but the standard one is really good. So yeah, Noobie, I've done this comparison for you to take a look. So China one goes in the box, standard one also goes back in the box. I'll be packing these up in a while. So in the meantime, let's get on to the next part of the video. But if you guys have any questions, please post it in the comments below and I will answer it
as soon as I'm actually re-recording this part because I was reviewing the footage and I realized that some parts of it got corrupted, so yeah. Anyway, before I ended off the first part of the video, I actually said if you guys have any comments or questions about these Elite Pinpoint Sights or the China ones, please hit me up, and if I can, I'll give you guys an answer. But as of now, my stand is based off the first impression that the China Elite Pinpoint Sights are of a lousy quality. It's a lower class or lower standards of production as compared to the standard Elite Pinpoint Sights, both in terms of the box art, the box printing, and of the final product itself due to the switch. Yeah. So let's go on to the next part where it's about the Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector. Let's go! In my last episode of PWND, I actually showed you guys this part of my Masterkey mod at the end of the episode, and actually really this part is about this little black piece over here, the Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector, and I have I've basically filmed a second segment or a separate segment about this thing just to show you guys a review and an in-depth close-up look at it and what it's about, so check it out.
Here we have the little new thing that we actually got off Taobao, the Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector, and this is actually, you know, in a set. It comes in a set. Apparently, according to Noobie, when he got it from me, he said that there's two options. Either you get it in a full set like that, or you just get it like this without the orange piece. Now what's cool about it is, okay, I'll get to the orange piece in a while. But the main thing is the Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector, and it comes in a little brown envelope, and I kind of threw it away, but I think you guys actually saw it in the previous episode. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you guys what's inside. Please pardon the extra mess. I have a laptop here that I'm charging. Actually it's charged full, but I'm actually working on a new track at the moment, so that's why I don't want to push it away. I just got lazy. This little piece of paper wrapped in, I think this is like tracing paper. It's wrapped in and sealed with a layer of Scotch tape. And then we have this Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector, and you can see it's solid metal, and it's really well made. You can see the seam right here. Yeah, so this is the knobs. So you basically just unscrew it, okay, and there we go. Just put it here so you guys can see it. Wonder if I can make it brighter if I did this. No, it's no difference. Yeah, I thought I could make it brighter for you guys, but yeah, it's the brightest that I can get. So you basically do this, and then it slides right out. So as you can see, it's two screws, and it's a really long post, and it just goes in with the two slots like that. And then you tighten the two knobs, and it holds the Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connectors. Yep. So yeah, you can see Nerf-to-Nerf. I'll grab you guys a blaster so I can give you a comparison. Give me a second. Okay, so we have a shell of a sonic ice retaliator. So well, you can see it just goes on around like so, and it hooks in like that. Alright, so it should be tight enough so that it won't slide, wobble on and off, so it's all friction fit. If you manage to pull it though, you're going to scratch the shell of the blaster in the groove area inside there. Yeah, so and then you just use that to tighten the thing. You just get it. It's really simple. It's a real simple process. You just screw it in and it tightens right down, so it's absolutely secure. You can see I'll do this instead, and it's not even moving at all. So that's the amazing thing. Now what's in this plastic thing, or this little paper thing? I'm gonna take out the masking tape and I'm gonna show it to you guys. So it comes with an extra pair of knobs, okay, and these knobs are slightly bigger. As you can see, they have a little more bevel as compared to the original one that was on. Okay, so this is the original one, this is the bigger one. You can see it's slightly bigger. Alright, and it's curved on the edge like that, compared to this one is not as curved. So yeah, it's just bigger for different applications. Like for example, if you have a blaster that shell is like this, and you want an easier or more surface area for you to grip onto the knob itself when you are screwing and unscrewing it, you can use the bigger one. Let me just get it in place like that, so it would not impede or obstruct the way you screw it in. You see that? So that's just nice. But this one is also smaller a little bit, so you can see it's really all about cosmetics and whether or not it can fit your blaster. So this is the Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector, and I thought that it was really sweet because some brands out there, I won't say names, but some companies out there, oh yeah, when you get it loose enough you can slide off. Some companies out there actually are making 3D printed Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connectors, and some of them are going for sky high prices, especially in terms of using it to create things like the Masterkey mod, and I think that that's a little bit uncalled for. It's a little bit too expensive. So yeah, we have this piece, and then we have the other orange piece that I promised that I would get to you guys in a while. So here it is. You can see it's really well made. It looks exactly like a Nerf rail. So here's the original Retaliator one. You can see the rail size, and this part is spring, so like so. Okay. It's also got a spring inside, and it's the spring stopper. You can see it's moving. Yeah, so then we have this part glued in over here, so it's just glued in. Now the thing is, you notice that there's two little screws down here. So what you're supposed to do with these screws is kind of like how myself and Coop actually installed our older Masterkey mods. You can actually click this annotation over here. I will put an annotation to Coop's video for his Masterkey mod tutorial or mod walkthrough, and I'll put mine over here, the original Masterkey, and that's how we actually did it. So these, basically when you want to install it into a blaster, this was actually meant for the Magnus, and I don't have a spare Magnus around, but yeah, it was originally intended for, on the sales page, it's to connect a Magnus to a Centurion, and you notice that the Magnus doesn't have rail on top. So this is what they did. They basically wanted you to kind of, okay, now let's imagine this is the part of the Magnus at the back, okay? So they want you to drill two holes right in between the seam. So you have to basically measure how far the holes are apart for this and this. And then you basically hook it in, and then you screw it in from the inside so it slips in. You know what I mean? So it kind of clasps onto this thing. So then you have a extra Nerf rail connector that should be sitting on top like that. And to me, it's really sturdy. It's better than just having this piece and then gluing it on, because now it's actually machine fastened. And yeah, basically they use that to kind of attach this part over here like that. Use this to attach onto a Centurion. So that's the Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector from China, and I think it's really good. Downside, as I was performing my mod, and you guys will see later how I actually rectify a situation. You know how factory makes all these Nerf blasters in slight variants, right? There's no way that two rails are going to be exactly the same measurements unless they're from the same batch. So if you notice, the next mod, or the mod that I'll be showing you guys, is a Masterkey mod, and I'm actually using a orange gear up recon attachment, and I'm gonna connect it to the newest white version of the rough cut. And it actually, the rough cut rails are actually wider than the gear up recon rails, so it kind of slips on and off the recon, but it's really snug and really tight fit onto the rough cut. So yeah, that's the only downside, but there are simple ways to rectify it. Apart from that, this thing is pretty damn cheap for a very, very sturdy piece of equipment. It's solid metal. It's the same kind of metal that you find on airsoft equipment, and it's very nicely, I believe this is anodized aluminum. I believe it feels like a very smooth finish. It feels definitely like anodized aluminum. Same goes for all these little knobs over here, the knob tighteners. And this is amazing. I believe that he actually kind of injection molded this thing. I don't know, look, it's one single piece, right? It's just amazing. Look, the craftsmanship and workmanship that got into this thing, this is amazing. Something that I'm not gonna throw away. I will just drill holes into my blasters and screw it from the inside instead of two halves that clasp together, kind of squeeze it in like that now. So this is very useful. So that's about the close-up of the Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector from Taobao, and I'll catch you in the next part of the video.
Welcome back, and so you guys can see, this is what I used it for. Exclusively this, and I will talk about this in the next part of the video, where it's about the Masterkey mod. Let's go! Masterkey mod time. I've always wanted to make a whiteout Masterkey, using the white rough cut and orange parts, especially the orange stripe. But I was always lazy to replicate what I did for my previous Masterkey mod. You can check it out here, or if you haven't checked it out in the previous annotation that I showed you guys in the previous part. Instead of, shaving even more, I've shaved this down last time, this part over here, and and then bring these two close together so that there's no gap in between. Use some screws and everything. Yeah, so basically what happens now is I just cut out this part over here of the rough cut, and you can see that it's actually resting against the lower lip of the orange retaliator barrel over here, and this thing is a perfect spacing. And yeah, for me, my mistake was that I didn't really give it a nice 90-degree cut. It is a very straight cut, if you ask me. I did some filing down with a file, but after I lined this up over here, I should have measured this. I mean, I should have took Nicky Go's advice. Always measure 10 times and then cut 1 time. I just measured once and I cut it because I thought I was great. I was fucking confident with my skills, but that's my bad. It's straight but not 90 degrees. I could fix that another time. I just used another file and file it down, but right now I'm just lazy. And it was really cool because I spotted this online and I'm thinking, hey, you know, this is it's almost modular in the sense it makes everything so much easier. So let me just show you guys what's going on, okay? There's no trigger spring, but this thing is still responding due to the catch plate inside. So it works. I can fire off one by one for you guys to hear. Check it out. First shot, second shot. So the rough cut still works. Now, let me grab my orange strife. Grab a buttstock, and if you guys are wondering how come the stock looks a bit different, well, this is from a Gear Up Raider, and this shaft over here is from a Super Soaker, any of the Super Soaker shoulder stocks, so that is why it's white in color. So I swapped it out instead of the black one, so I have a whitish, whitish looking or whiteout looking adjustable shoulder stock. Okay, and this is actually a stock strife. If you guys actually realized or remember, I have that UV light mod thing from Noobie, and it's got an orange zip tie up here. So this thing fits on very nicely, just like this, without even having to remove the rough cut segment. Of course, you have to actually, you see, it's known that these two are actually a little bit wobbly. So all you gotta do is just put some padding in between, and then everything will be fine. But I want to show you guys really quickly because you know it's modular, right? So get your clip. There are 4 darts inside here, but I have no batteries in the strife, so I will not be firing the strife off. But just to give you guys a rough idea how it looks or how it feels, exactly like this, okay? And then you basically fire the rough cut like that. Now, I could save myself the trouble and tie a cable tie or zip tie around here to hold the trigger down, and I will do that in due time. I want to find myself another orange colored zip tie so that everything matches very nicely. You know, I'm anal like that. It's all about cosmetics. But in the meantime, if you guys don't want to, if you don't like it, you can always do this and fire. Or you can use my old style where I actually hot glue everything down in place, so this thing becomes perpetually in slam fire mode. Alright, what I'm doing now is I'm loading up the rough cut with just 4 Elite Streamline darts because I want to give you guys a quick firing demonstration of the rough cut area. The Masterkey portion of this blaster. And yeah, it's to kind of simulate, you know, what it looks and feels like if you're actually using this in a practical war situation. So I don't have batteries in the strife, so I'm not going to be firing anything from the strife. But just imagine you're running around and gunning away. Now you can have a cable tie and make it perpetually, like always on slam fire. But you know, now what's going to happen is we're just doing this, and then we reach over the front and we fire away, exactly like that. And now I'm going to show you what I mean by modular. Okay, first of all, I'm going to take this stock off, put it down. Then, because of the way this thing is cut, because of the way I cut it, we don't actually have to remove the rough cut from the barrel. We just twist it out, comes right off. Okay, get my clip aside, and the strife takes a break. And just in case you guys want to use this thing, that's why I call it modular, on another blaster, for example, a Recon. This is actually a Recontaliator. No, what do you call it? A Retalicon, yeah, I'm sorry. This is a Retalicon. Inside it has Retaliator internals. I'll put this aside and I'm going to show you guys how we're going to make this fit that. As you can see, right in this position, there's almost no way for you to fit it on because of this lip over here and because of where the mag well sits. So if I were to simulate this, look how the rough cut actually eats into the mag well area. Now, just simply unscrew this, remove the knob. It's really simple. The knobs aside, take out the first front plate or slide it off, just like that. The rough cut will sit here, hold the plate in place, and then we are going to attach this onto the Retelicon first. So now you see what it looks like, and then we want the rough cut to sit exactly like that. So as you can see, this part over here will be hitting this part of the lip. Okay, that's how far it's gonna be. And that's why I have some E-tape over here. So now with that measurement, I'm gonna take this piece again. Oh no, I'm gonna take the one with the screws again, screw port. Okay, just line it up, sort of like that. The rough cut down here. Good, got it. And there we go. Okay, right here at this spot, I'm gonna hold everything in place with one hand. Okay, rest it up on my lap. Slip the other part or the other half of the Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector, and then I'm gonna get the knob and screw it in. Okay, got it in one side, the other knob. And there we have it. Bingo! It's done. As you can see, it's really sturdy. Now once it's attached, basically you can just detach it like so. And if you realize, I just totally detached it by using only the rough cut area. So here we go, I'm gonna attach it in. Okay, so that's a cool thing about it, just that when you're attaching it, always try and have the barrel connected to the blaster first. When you're changing up, then you attach this. Now you guys are actually wondering why it's sticking out like that. It's because, you know, that little plastic, I guess, that block that Hasbro always makes on their Nerf blasters or Nerf rails. Yeah, it's still there on the rough cut. If you want to get rid of it, yeah, sure, you can just get rid of it, and then you can shift this the connector in. But I got lazy, and I didn't want to make any more cuts in the shell, as you know, that I don't really need, you know. So that's the reason why. Okay, so then what you do is you get your stock of choice like so, and then you get your clip with 4 darts inside it, so you can have a Retelicon working fine. You know, the reason why it's doing this is because I didn't have the what do you call it, the bolt lock. It's called bolt lock. Yeah, I removed the bolt lock. Sorry. I like the way it is. I like the way it looks. But this thing, the stock, is a little bit too uncomfortable for me, because when I have it here, it's way too far to reach out for the. I mean, this is still okay for the rough cut, but it's hard when I do this. See, it's difficult to reach. So for this mod, I recommend that you guys actually make this on perpetual slam fire mode. But for demonstration purposes on this video, I will just fire off this part, or the Retelicon first, and then I will remove the stock and I will fire off the rough cut. I hope you guys don't mind, okay? So basically, here we go, like this, and this thing works. So here we go. And air restrictors are still in place, so I can still dry fire, not a problem. Get rid of the stock first. Okay, here we go. Now I can just easily reach over to the rough cut area and slam fire 4 darts. There we go. So this is my Masterkey mod with a gear up Retelicon. If not, the most important part is just this part. Oh, I don't want to come on anymore. Okay, here we go. So the most important part is just this part. And you can see this thing is really sturdy. It's holding everything in place very well. As you guys saw, it took some punishment over there when I was trying to, well, force it out. And yeah. Ta-da! And that brings us to the end of this episode. If you guys are interested in getting yourselves one of these China or, you know, Taobao Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connectors, you can try and hit Noobie up. It's a Nerf-SG Noobie or Noobie Nerf-SG on Facebook. I'll put a link to his Facebook profile in the video description. I don't know if he accepts international orders. He kind of helps a lot of us Singaporeans order through Taobao. I used to order on my own, but I just got lazy, you know, because you have to basically settle a lot of stuff, and he's a great guy, and he always passes me stuff for review, so I leave that to him, and I highly recommend his services, seriously. If you guys see anything you like on Taobao, and if it's legal, of course, you can just run a check and see if he's open to actually helping you order that in. He's the one that always helped me get, like, my previous M16 Nerf thingy, my FPG Nerf thingy, the fast mags or the fast clips, that holder, my rifle bag, what else? The clear jolts, this Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector. Well, everything from Taobao, he's helped me out, so I really appreciate his services, and you guys should check him out. And I will try to go back to Taobao and dig for a link for this Nerf-to-Nerf Rail connector. If I do find it, I will post it in the video description. If it's not there, then you guys know that I wasn't able to find it, okay? Yeah, so with all that said, it's come to the end of episode 71. Thank you so much for watching all the way throughout. I know that it's going to be a pretty long episode as usual, so hopefully that you guys will enjoy this standard style. I do not know if I have a lot more content to show you guys, because honestly, I'm sorry, Hasbro has been really slow, and I don't want to keep on making recycled mods, you know what I mean? Yeah, and yeah, if you guys like this video, I hope you guys give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I make weekly Nerf videos, or at least I try my best to make weekly Nerf videos. That's about it, guys. Stay fresh, stay fly, and I will see you soon. Peace.